Good evening, everyone. We still have those last minute texts you can give out to everyone. Invite right now. I will be coming on shortly to present our exciting two gentlemen. If you can just let us know where you exactly are coming from in the chat. Just give us 1 minute. Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to present these two great gentlemen. My name is Zena Edgehill. If you can please just put it in the chat where you are looking at this live from. I see Lonnie Howard, welcome from Houston, Texas. Cassandra Wooten, welcome from Goldsboro, North Carolina, one of our great leaders. I see Lovey from Tampa, Florida. Welcome, everyone. So you are definitely in for a treat. My name is Zena Edgehill, and I am from the DMV area, Maryland. So I will be presenting two of our great leaders right now. Let me just do this. So I do want to first I do want to bring on our first speaker. Our first speaker is none other than Dr. G.W. Parker, a founder and member of MWR as a two-star regional director. Dr. Parker achieved the incredible milestone of leaving his 65,000 a year job in just 2 years to pursue his MWR business full time. So Dr. Parker really plays a big role with MWR, as a lot of leaders has followed his footsteps. So definitely I want to, thank him for everything and his achievement with MWR, as he has developed a lot of leaders as well. And also, my second speaker is none other than Eric Willner. We have a real estate, a real treat for you all tonight. Our speakers bring a wealth of experience, a deep understanding of the real estate market, and a passion for helping others achieve their dreams. Okay, now Eric Willner is a licensed realtor, a seasoned mortgage broker, a veteran investor. He's seen the market from every angle. He's here to share his insight with us. Okay, now also Eric speaks 4 different languages. He speaks English, Portuguese, Spanish, and German. He is also the founder and the host of America's longest running daily real estate radio show, heard bright and early during your drive, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. So please don't miss that if you are in the Florida area. So he knows how to communicate, and he knows this industry inside out. Also, beyond that, Eric is a lifestyle and legacy coach with MWR, dedicated to empowering individuals to build not just wealth, but fulfilling the lasting legacy. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. G.W. Parker and Eric Willner. So the floor is yours. I will turn over the mic to you both. And it was my honor to introduce. I see. Hello.
Thank you, Zena.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for that
Yeah.
very nice introduction. And I'll tell you that Dr. Parker and I, we spoke a little bit earlier. We're excited about tonight, and I think we got a lot to share. And Dr. Parker, how are you doing tonight?
Eric, if it gets any better, sir, I wouldn't be able to stand it. Listen, thank you so much for giving me the privilege and opportunity to share this stage with you tonight once again. Again, it brings back those memories from the early days that you and I started these Wednesday night platforms. So I'm excited to be with you again tonight. But I was thinking about something. Since you're fluent in 4 different languages, why don't we present tonight in Portuguese?
Vamos, a gente pode fazer exatamente isso.
Hey, I need a little time to catch up with you on that, my friend, but that would be so awesome. Listen, it is truly my bucket list, and something I desire to do is to be fluent in multiple languages, English, Spanish. I want to learn Creole. I'm working on that as well. And also, Portuguese would be great as well. But what an advantage that you bring to the market, having the ability to speak multiple languages. So, hey, Eric, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get started. I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint here so we can go ahead and knock this out and get the information out in front of people, because I believe, my friend, and I think you and I are on the same page. What we're about to share with this group tonight is what I consider to be the greatest opportunity that exists on planet Earth. And that is MWR, guys. And we're excited about the possibilities and what this program has already done for so many people across this country, and what it could do for you if you decide to take advantage of the information that we're going to share with you and begin to kind of run with it. Because again, Eric, this is where lifestyle and legacy connect. But one thing I like about our relationship, you and I met 3+ years ago in South Florida. You shared with me some principles, life principles that you stand by. And that sort of translated into what we were doing. It matched up very well with MWR, but you've got some core beliefs, and let's talk about those first.
Yeah, and it's true. And what was beautiful about that is, yes, I've been doing a radio show now for over 26 years. Dyed in the blue real estate, as Zena was saying. I really believe that everyone should be a homeowner, that everyone should own their own home. And that's belief number one. And you're going to see as we kind of unpeel the onion about MWR tonight, how these principles that I have, which I believe are good principles, are the very principles that fuel and support what MWR can do for anybody out there. And that's the neat thing. It's also, the great leveling of the playing field. So belief number one is that everyone should be a homeowner. I believe everyone should own their own home. There's lots of reasons why, and I'm not just talking financial. I'm talking about more stable families, longer lasting marriages, less teenage pregnancy. All of these things are part of home ownership, not to mention the pride of ownership and the stability to be able to be in one place and know that that's your castle. Number two is that I believe that you should have that financial house in order as well. Okay. So not just your physical house, but your financial house. And whether you have a life plan, a business plan, or a financial plan, the bottom line is that if it's not in writing, it's just a wish. And the neat thing about MWR is they give us the experts to help put together a well thought out and very possible financial plan for wherever you are in life. And number three, I believe that everyone should own a business. Now, some of you are, regular W-2 employees. I'm not saying quit your job and leave your job. I'm saying that owning a business opens up many opportunities, a lot of tax advantages, and of course, it gives you the freedom to make different choices as we evolve in our career. So those are my three beliefs. And I think, Dr. Parker, in a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit about each one of those throughout our presentation.
No question about it, Sarah. And when you shared those beliefs with me, it was a perfect match and is a perfect match with what we're doing with MWR. So, guys, let's get into it. We're here tonight to talk about MWR. If you don't know, MWR stands for Make Wealth Real. And, guys, we're real serious about this. Again, this is where lifestyle and legacy connect. And this is our presentation tonight. So, the idea, Eric, that we have the ability to live the lifestyle that you and I want, and also at the same time build the legacy for, that our family deserves. And I say this all the time. If we're not going to do it for our families, then who will? So, but there's some issues that we deal with along the way, right? So let's get into it and talk about the reasons that we do it, that we work, basically trading time for money. And even as a business owner, there's a tremendous sacrifice required. So we've got to figure out how to get on the other side of this thing. But we do it for these reasons, our current lifestyle and also our future lifestyle. But at the end of the day, we don't want this work, Eric, to be in vain. We want to leave a legacy. But here are the challenges that we face. This is the buzzsaw right here. These are the three major things that we've got to really figure out how to master. One, how do we make more money? Who doesn't want to know that, right? You figure that one out, you'll make millions. And then here's another one. How do we keep more of the money that we make? We've got a system that's going to help you get that done. But then here's the one that I say 98% of the people in this country have yet to figure out, and that other 2% controls all the wealth. How do you make your money work for you? I think it was Warren Buffett who said, if you don't find a way to make money or generate income through some investment vehicle while you're asleep, you're going to be forced to work until you die. And Eric, unfortunately, that's the way many of us are, because look at the results. The great majority of us are putting in 50 plus years of work. So you know the old plan, 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then they want you to live off 40% of the income that you were earning when you were working full time. And most people we know, my friends, couldn't make it off 100% of their income. But here's the thing about that 40-year plan, and now 50 plus years with everything that's happening with our economy, right? And the state of affairs as it is in this country. You talk about the most productive years of your life, having to surrender those for the sake of someone else's dream and putting ourselves in a position where we're financing a lifestyle instead of owning one. And what are we doing, Eric? We're leaving our families in debt instead of a legacy.
I see it every day, Dr. Parker, and it's unfortunate that in the wealthiest, greatest country on the planet, 80% of our retirees retire financially dependent, not independent. So what you just laid out right here is exactly, and I hope it grabs your attention, because it's something that happens gradually. You get indoctrinated into this system. You run on the treadmill your whole entire life, And by the time you realize what's going on, for many people, it's too late. Not anymore.
Wow. And you're absolutely right. For many people, it is too late, but that has changed. And let's talk about how it's changed and why it's changed. Let's talk about the difference as it relates to MWR, what we bring to the market, how we separate ourselves from anyone else in this industry. We're the only company in the financial service space, Eric, that guarantees your success. And these guys are so confident, they go as far as putting it in writing. Look at what they say. If our expert strategy or opportunity can't put more money back into your pocket than the membership in your first 30 days, Eric, they're willing to give you a full refund. I mean, so who loses here? See, there's no risk to you, ladies and gentlemen. The only way that you lose is simply by choosing not to participate. Now, you've been in and around the financial service space for a long time, decades, my friend. Have you ever seen a financial strategies company make such a bold statement and go as far as backing it with a written, commitment?
You're going to find out tonight that MWR is in a category of one. Go ahead and ask your stockbroker what guarantees he has to offer, and he'll laugh you right off the phone. Go ahead and ask any one of your financial services about guarantees. In fact, many financial professionals are not even allowed by their compliance departments to use the word guaranteed. So here it is. Snap a picture. I always like to say MW will give you not only a full but cheerful refund. And I haven't seen very many refunds be given. Why? Because there's no risk, not only to you, but even to the people that you share this with. This is one of those things, like a great movie, a great restaurant, you're going to tell other people about, because it's literally changing people's financial lives.
I think the boldness in this statement and the posturing that MWR has is because of the fact that we've leveled the playing field, Eric. We've given the average everyday person the same tools and systems and experts that wealthy people have always had access to. So we pull back the curtain and we're sharing the secrets and giving everyone that wants to participate full access. So let's get into it. And what does this membership consist of, right? This lifestyle and legacy membership. See, our expert's going to help you do these things. We talked earlier about helping you keep more of your money, right? And we want to be able to master that and also make your money work for you. I want to master that one. And also the ability to protect the income and assets that we help you grow, because we're in the business of doing that, helping you grow. And you see here on the right side of the screen, Eric, these are just a few of the pillars that we use, that we've extracted from the playbook of wealthy people, and now offer this comprehensive financial platform to the general public.
It's the money matrix, and I tell people about that. The neat thing, and this is just an example of how well thought out this whole program is. Number one, the light color blue, those are essential. I call those the level one financial strategies. Eliminate your debt, because after all, debt is the middleman, right? The financial speed bump between you and financial freedom, financial debt. Eliminate my debt, you're halfway there. Reduce my taxes, another huge part of Americans' bills and their expenses. Lower my bills. Well, let's go ahead and address the rest. Do you know that for each one of these squares, and by the way, I don't care whether you have $2 in your wallet or $2 million in your wallet, you need every single one of these blue squares. And restore my credit. Now, being in the real estate world, I'm exposed to credit every single day, but most people ignore their credit. To them, it's kind of like a letter from the IRS or a letter from the credit bureau is just probably going to be bad news. And here's the thing. Did you know that an 800 credit score is worth more than $100,000 in the bank? People with an 800 credit score get different mail than the people even with a 700 credit score get. And P.S., if you have below a 700 credit score, listen intently to tonight, because included in our membership, in our program, is a constant, never-ending building and protecting your credit score, which, by the way, is the most important number, more important than your Social Security number, more important than your bank account number. Now go to the dark green squares. These are our level 2 strategies, and we'll break those down more in a second. But eventually, you should be in this area once you take care of the level 1 strategies. And finally, what does every wealthy person do when they've reached a certain level of assets? Is that they put protections around it. back in the old days when we had castles, they built moats and high walls and threw alligators into the moat to protect from the barbarians out there that are trying to steal your wealth. Today, that game still gets played, only now instead of moats and alligators, we have lawyers and trusts, and MWR will show you how to protect so that you don't take 2 steps forward and then again 2 steps backwards. And in some case, if you don't have your assets protected, you could take 3 steps backwards. So back to you.
Well, you mentioned something that you shared with me nearly 3 years ago when we first met in South Florida, and you talked about it a few minutes ago, the importance of a high credit score, that an 800 credit score was worth more than $100,000. And I didn't understand that until you helped me understand that, but it absolutely makes sense, guys, and it really does work. But here's the beautiful part about it, Eric. The experts are going to do the work, and you and I are going to get the results. And we're going to talk about the cost of this platform, which is unbelievable compared to what it would cost walking in off the street of any of these offices to secure these services from these experts. Let's talk about strategies now, our lifestyle strategies. What our experts are going to help you do, we're going to shift money back to where it actually belongs. Eric, you and I and all the people on this platform, who's taking that money away from us? The government, banks, big business? I mean, so let's put this money back in your pocket. Going again back to the blue strategies that Eric spoke about. This is how we put this money back into your pocket. Eric talked about eliminating debt, reducing taxes, lowering your bills and your healthcare costs, restoring your credit, and increasing your credit score at the same time. But I know this is one that's close to your heart. The ability to turn rent into home ownership. That's a big one. I'll let you talk about that. But Eric, also speak about this $150. I think a lot of people are asleep on this one and really don't take advantage of these reward dollars that you're being given every single month. And here's the beauty of it. If you don't use the entire $150 during the course of that month, it just rolls over to the following month. I've got thousands of dollars in reward dollars available to me that I can use on any given day of the week, whether it's dining, whether it's shopping. But these are big deals. All of these things put money back into the average person's pocket.
You know, people have Costco memberships, the BJ, Sam's Club. Why do they pay to go into a place where they shop? Well, very simply, because they get more savings, they get more benefits when they shop there than the cost of the membership. And imagine if there was, for a second, imagine if there was a Costco of finances. How cool would that be? Well, maybe we're going to show you that, and we're going to show you that $150 a month. You start out ahead of the game before the month even begins. And in a minute, we're going to show you why, when you eliminate debt, reduce your taxes, lower your bills, including healthcare costs, restore your credit, save a ton on interest, and turn your rent, tax not deductible, into a house payment, which is tax deductible. Plus, it builds equity. You know that our average member saves about $2,000 per month. So I started ahead 150. The average person saves $2,000. That's $24,000 a year when you think about it. How much would a membership cost to save you $2,000 a month? And before you answer that question, Dr. Parker, let me just remind our listeners, the Keys to Home Ownership is a very unique program. It's a one-of-a-kind program as well, here for our MWR members that take advantage and who are paying rent regardless of credit. You see, if you go to your corner bank, the first question they're gonna ask you is, what's your credit?
The credit score.
Our program doesn't even take credit into consideration, regardless of what your credit score is. It could be anywhere from 0 all the way up to the 800s. We have a program for you, and the American dream of home ownership now can be a reality with the program that we're talking about. So over to you.
Eric, it's a big deal, man. I mean, you think about the number of people across this country, 44 million plus people every single day are paying rent versus ownership. And I've learned this from you. And the philosophy of Keys to Home Ownership is that, when the banks say no, we say yes. And we've created a platform that can allow the average person to secure home ownership. This is a big deal. But I want to get back to this $2,000 in savings. And honestly, I don't care where people are in their financial life, what sort of income you generate. But if we have the ability to put an additional $2,000 a month back into your pocket from your existing finances, guys, this is a big deal. I mean, what changes in your life when you are able to put $2,000 in savings back in your pocket without having to go out and get a part-time job? But let's talk about the cost. Let's answer that $64 million question. We're going to get to it in a minute, but we're going to talk strategies here, Eric. Now, we put $2,000 plus back into the average person's pocket. What should we do next? Well, the average person says, hey, let's go shopping. I think not. Now we need to find a job for that money. Let's put that money to work for you using our strategies, the ability for our experts to do these things. Multiply and protect your money and your assets. And one would say, well, how do you do it? Eric, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. And these are what I call the level 2 strategies. These are the strategies that once you master these, create the legacy that we're talking about. But self-banking strategies, the biggest buildings, the best locations are who? The banks, right? Because they have a magical formula, right? We're going to take money and then we're going to lend it out, and then we're going to collect the money, then we're going to lend it out again. And they use money 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. What if the individual could do that? That's what our self-banking strategies allow us to do. We have something called the diversified cash flow account, where literally you can invest your money at above bank rates with tax advantages, and then you get to use the same dollar twice and go do it again or do something else with it. Many wealthy people set up private banks, their own private reserve accounts. MWR, again, levels the playing field. You don't have to start out with a $250,000 minimum deposit to have your own private reserve account. We do something that also sophisticated. Probably the best known example was when Walt Disney, right? They bought land in Orlando before Orlando was anything, and they started buying up a lot of land. And they waited some time to develop that land, and then they aggregated it and made a ton of money. Today, Walt Disney is one of the largest corporations on the planet. Imagine being able to buy land in the path of progress. Remember what Dr. Parker said, the experts are doing the work. You see, you're not a tax expert, you're not a trust expert, and you're not a land banking expert. You don't have to be, because we have those specialized experts in each category. Something that's becoming more and more popular today are precious metals. People are starting to understand the importance of what are called hard assets. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, all of those metals, which are fundamental stores of wealth that are excellent hedges against inflation, just like real estate is. And that's a platform. And we have a very special, unique, and privileged platform for precious metals, along with the experts to show you exactly what to do step by step. And then finally, sort of the icing on the cake, or maybe it's the shell around the castle, is trust my assets. We have also trust experts that will take your situation individualized. Imagine having all of these experts on speed dial and not have to worry about the hourly cost of what these experts charge you. And by the way, none of these are cheap experts.
Oh, no question about it. They're not. But Eric, with what you've laid out, these again are the pillars that the wealthy have always used. And we always ask the question, how is it possible that the rich continue to get rich? They're using this system right here. This is how they do it. And how is it possible they can continue to pass this money on from generation to generation? We've got the trust in place that assists you and gives you the ability to do the exact same thing. So this is how we live and leave a legacy, my friend. So let's answer the $64 million question, because everything you need to secure your lifestyle and your legacy in one membership, what would be the cost? $149.97 per month. Now let's get back to you. You've been in the financial service space for years, for decades. You understand this industry. You know how it works, right? You know what licensed trained professionals' hourly rates are across the country, which right now hovers around $200 to $300 an hour. Now compare that to only $149.97 to get those things that you just mentioned.
Well, 1 hour of any one of those experts could easily cost what you pay for just 1 month. And P.S., I'm sure you do too. I use probably almost every one of those 9 different boxes. So you take $149, and if that was cheap, $200 an hour times 9 is $1,800 worth of advice given to you every single month simply for the cost. And I would always ask, if I could show you how to get, $1,800. Oh, by the way, $2,000 average savings on top of that. Oh, by the way, you also start out with $150 in the rewards bucks. All of this with absolutely no contract, no setup fee, a 30-day money back guarantee. And the beautiful thing about this is that includes 2 people, your spouse, your domestic partner, your roommate, father, son, mother, daughter, doesn't matter. 2 people, same address, all the benefits, 100%, nothing reduced, only for the cost of basically a cup of coffee a day.
That's a big deal, my friend. It's a big deal. Seriously, particularly where we are in this economy right now. $149.97 gets you access to the same tools, systems, and a licensed trained expert. Same tools and systems that wealthy people have always used to gain great wealth for $149.97 per month. This is why we're winning, sir, at MWR. But not only that, this is why we believe MWR is the perfect business. And I'll ask this question: where else can you go to get paid daily, every single day? And I always like to show you what it looks like, Eric: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, while someone else is doing the work for you and for everyone that you refer. How do we go about doing it, sir? What is it going to take?
Very simple. And by the way, I hope people take this seriously, not by the low price tag, but by the incredible value that we get for a simple startup cost of $249.97. That includes a one-time $100 business setup fee, which sets up a whole list, and I'll tell you about that in just a second, of business advantages, business tools, outward facing website for the public with all the marketing materials, an in back office with all of the tracking materials, which by the way comes with experts in your back office. But all of that plus your monthly $149.97. So for $249, Dr. Parker, you could start a 100% IRS compliant business in a box, all wrapped up in a bow. All you have to do is invest the money. You're in business right away, which is why I was very comfortable when I told you what my third belief, that everyone should own a business, right? There has never been a simpler way. It's much easier to buy a business with a proven formula than it is to start a business. That's for sure. Let me just tell you that. And that's why, as a real estate professional, I saw this as not a replacement of what I was doing, but as a beautiful add-on. And I'm going to say that to anybody in the real estate business, in the mortgage business, or any of the financial services for that matter. Are you tired of throwing away turn downs and people who don't qualify? You see, there's no qualifying in any of our programs. When you're a member, you're automatically included in all of the benefits. And by the way, we forgot to say, Dr. Parker, that in that membership, in addition to all of those benefits, if you refer, that I told you, a great movie, a great restaurant, you're going to share it with people. If you share it with 3 people, do you know that your membership becomes free?
It's incredible, Eric. Honestly, they didn't leave anything out. They've designed this program for the average everyday person. Now, you mentioned there was some other perks that came with it, and I'll let you go over those. But before you mention that, I think about the $249.97 investment, right? And I think about only $100 of that is used for the setup and your ongoing expense. Any business that you operate has an ongoing, a business expense, if you will, right? So let's call that the $149.97, which gets you the membership. And we're going to show you how to actually put yourself in a position where you're cash positive in a very short period of time. But a $249.97 investment does 2 things when I think about it. One, it puts you in business with the fastest growing financial strategies company in the country. That's MWR. Not only that, it puts you in the middle of a multi-trillion-dollar year industry, which is financial services. And I challenge anyone to tell me when in the history of their life where money has never been an issue, or you've known situations for many people where money's not an issue. It has always been, it always will be. They designed it so the average person can't really figure it out, but we've got the advantage now, my friend. Talk about some of the other pieces that come with this investment.
There's no question that this is just an incredible opportunity. Number one, as a business, you're now, as you mentioned, in the financial services. What is the most common conversation that happens every single day in everybody's life? There's a conversation about the cost of gasoline, inflation, the cost of eggs, the economy. Are we going up? Are we going down? It's the easiest conversation to have because it's happening naturally every single day. And what if in that conversation you said, that used to be a problem for me, but now I have a team of experts on my side, and basically it pays for itself, right? It literally pays for itself. And do you not think that someone's going to say, "Hey, Gerald, would you tell me a little bit more about that? That sounds very interesting," because I know, and we all know, that we need help with our finances.
No question about it, sir. But here's the other thing that excites me about what we bring to the table. MWR is going to give you and I an opportunity to earn a ridiculous amount of money without having to become the expert, to share this concept with people that we know need it. I mean, 98% of the population needs one or all of the services that we represent. But let's talk about the revenue sharing plan, Eric, that they've created, which is like nothing I've ever seen in this industry. And I would challenge anyone to put this up against anyone else in this space and compare. There's no comparison as far as the income potential, right? A $249.97 investment gets you all of those tools, but show me the money, Eric Willner. What does this thing really look like?
And that's at the end of the day. I have a plaque over in my office that says income is the outcome that matters. And at
Wow.
the end of the day, that's what business is really all about. And what if I could show you a literally not only IRS compliant, but color by the numbers, simple way to create an ongoing cash flow? For example, if you wanted to really build a business, right? And by the way, nowhere did we mention having inventory, having, overhead costs of a place or an office. Literally from your phone, your tablet, your laptop, you can run this business from anywhere. But the object of the game, the object of any business, right? A business is something that supports itself and works even while you don't, okay? So in the beginning, you got to start the business. And let's say that you go out and you find yourself 3 individuals who are also looking for an opportunity, who are also looking to add either supplemental or replacement income, and you put it together, only 3, okay? Corporations are made up of a lot more people than that, but only 3 starts you at an income level of $5 a day, okay? A day. I didn't say a week. I said a day, which means 30 times $5 is $150 a month. Now I've just showed you exactly how to self-fund the business that we started. $149.97, is your overhead, but I've got $150 coming in already in a day, 2 days, 3 days, however long it takes you. But if you do it in the first 30 days, the company gives you a reward, a momentum bonus of $150 on top of the $50 fee for enrolling. So now you're at $300. You've already gotten all of your investment back in the first 30 days. Now, the company says, listen, let's get that momentum going. And the way that we build momentum in a business, not in yourself, in a business, is now you help your team to build their 3 people. Now, the minute that you do that, the company now promotes you not from $5 a day, but now to $20 a day, which is $600 a month. Now, that number moves the needle for a lot of people. That's a car payment, could be a substantial part of a house payment. But the bottom line, $600 coming in. Now you're eligible for a number, and there are 6 other income streams or sources that are available. But again, you do that in the next 60 days, you help them, you get another bonus of $450 on top of the $150 you got before. Well, momentum is about momentum, and you go back and you help that new incoming, I call it the freshman class, show them how they can get their 3, and now you are promoted to $50 a day. $50 a day. Now let's do the math again. $50 a day is now $1,500 a month, which by no small coincidence is equal to what most Americans work 40 years of their life, 40 hours a week, commuting back and forth to end up on 40%, because the average Social Security check, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or in the Social Security Administration, they all publish similar statistics, and they say the following, that the average Social Security check today in America is around $1,600. That took people 40 years to make. You could do it in 90 days. By the way, why only take one of them? Take them both. Okay. Now we're starting to talk about a retirement, because nowhere in any book that I know is $1,800 or $1,600 a golden retirement year. But here's the beautiful thing. You and I have talked about this before. Right now, right there in front of you, basically is a financial plan. Zena calls it her retirement plan. I call it the money menu. But no matter what you call it, it's hands down the most generous compensation plan that I have ever seen. And now let's go back to that daily column. We started out at $5, proof of concept. We got $20 a day. Now it's something that's noticeable. $1,500 a day or more. You could take it all the way down to $15,000 a day. And I'll be honest with you, when I first was presented with this program and the benefits, I thought it was very interesting. I could easily share that with a lot of my clients, and therefore it was a good thing. When I saw this at $15,000 a day, Dr. Parker, 15,000 a day times 30 is $450,000 a month. There's a joke in my industry that they want, sometimes when we have a really good month, I said, I had a really good year this month. You could have a great year every month using this program. And I call this athlete's money. And, I'm not as tall as you are. I was never running back, fullback. I'm not basketball material, but I can have athletes type money available in this plan. All you have to do is pick what level moves the needle for you, and then just be willing to invest the next 2 or 3 years of building that, and when you start the momentum, remember, in the example I gave you, I only said that you went out and found 3 people, but those 3 people probably know 3 people who know 3 people, and the story goes on.
Eric, it's amazing. I was with a group last night, and I said this: find 5 people that will commit themselves to this process. First of all, they need to be able to see what you see. I mean, I call this my fixed income chart. Why do I call it that? Because I can fix my income to be whatever I desire it to be. But you look at a daily guarantee that starts at $5 and maxes out at $15,000 per day. And you have already talked about the momentum bonuses, because MWR wants to reward you for getting off to a fast start. But let's look at lifestyle bonuses also. There's $300 more a week on the table as 6 people join your organization. You don't have to personally sponsor those people yourself. And then we talk about legacy bonuses from $30 to as much as $150 for everybody that joins your organization. This is going to allow you to get paid on people that you'll never meet, that you won't ever know, that are in other parts of the world. I mean, this is the most amazing, revenue sharing platform that I've ever seen. If the idea is to ring the bell in your financial life, I believe that this is an excellent way to do it.
I agree with you. And so, take a snapshot of this. Dr. Parker called it a fixed income. Zena calls it her retirement plan. I call it a menu. What are you going to call it? But the bottom line is, take a look at that, and what is it that would change things for you? I already told you from the beginning, the services alone will change your life. But when you add on top of that this component, putting together not only great services, but also a great compensation plan, you've got a winning formula right there.
Oh, no question about it. And just to mention, one of our leaders who is with us tonight, and a young man that you and I have a great deal of respect for, Mr. Fernando Ramirez. When we look at this chart right here, look at the position of regional director. 300 people on your team. You're making $200 a day, $6,000 a month, $73,000 a year. And Eric, as well as I do, it's been documented. Fernando did that in a period of 8 months. 8 months. And what's more fascinating about the story is the fact that he sponsored a young lady, Ana Rodriguez, who was a realtor in the Orlando area, came right behind him and did the exact same thing in what 90 days?
In 3 months.
I
In
mean,
3 months.
3 months. It's incredible. And then I think about when he did that in 8 months, I said to myself, how many people do I personally know that are making $73,000 a year? And that was only a few, a very small percentage. And but then the question was, how long did it take them to get to $73,000 a year? None of those guys walked in the door making $73,000 a year. There were 20 years, 25, 30-year commitments to get to that level of income. And here's a man who sees the concept and comes in and, within a period of 8 months, puts 300 people in his organization making $200 a day, $6,000 a month, $73,000 a year. Enough said, my friend.
No formal education required, no licenses required, simply the willingness to share something that everybody already needs.
It's quite amazing, my friend. Again, experts doing all the work for you. But Eric, you've mastered this simulator, because this gives us a chance to really show people. And I don't want to use the term easy, but honestly, if you're willing to do the work, it's not that hard. I mean, it's just a commitment that you've got to make, depending on where you are in your life and what you want. I mean, if this is the vehicle that you choose to do it, we're going to give you a chance to do it and make it happen. Help us understand how this simulator works and what it looks like when you're basically moving at snail's pace by only sponsoring one person per month for the next 12 months.
I said this was color by the numbers, and and it is a numbers game. It's pure and simple. We already know the system works, because if one person can do it, 10 people can do it. If 10 people, 100 can do it as well. But let's take a look at, oftentimes when I'm talking to people about their finances and I ask them, what is their income goal? Invariably they want to make six figures. That $100,000 is like the dream income of so many people. And you saw that chart. That's nowhere where you should start. I mean, that's where you want to start, not where you want to finish, because you have much greater potential. But let's look at that $100,000 mark. That means an income of a little bit over 8,000, let's call it $9,000 a month. Now, you talk about a snail's pace. Instead of going out there and getting 3 right away, like I think that you absolutely can do, and many people are doing that every single day, go out and get one per month, not even one per week, one per month. And you do that, but do that consistently. And I promise you that if you use the services and you share what you're doing, you'll find one other person who says, hey, can I do that also? Can I join your team? So throughout the year, you accumulate 12 people. Now, in the course of that, some people will want to join in the business. Some people just want to use the services. And I'm saying just get one person. Just get one person who takes the membership. The rest will probably see that it's an amazing deal for that one extra $100. They'll want to be a lifestyle and legacy coach as well. But here's the thing. Now in year 1, I've got 12 of these LLCs. I've got one only customer, 13 total members, and yet the company is still going to pay me as a 2-star executive director $600 a month. Okay. Now, consistency is the mother of success. So if you were to do the same thing year 2, okay, so I'm going to invest 2 years, very, very part-time, 1 per month. And I'm going to teach those people that I bring on to do the same thing, but only 50% of the people. Half of them are going to stay at home and watch Oprah. The other half are going to do what I did. And at the end of the second year, now there are 72 LLCs on my team doing their own thing. Some of them I know, some of them I've never met. On top of that, each one of those people got one customer. So now we got 72 more customers for a total of 157 total members. As a 4-star executive director, it's just a title, because I'm not interested in the title. I'm interested in the $3,000 a month now that is coming in month after month after month. And let me just tell you, as a mortgage professional, when you can show that consistent deposit in your account month after month after month, you qualify for things that most self-employed people don't. Now, I said, keep the momentum going. Invest. Would you be willing to invest 3 years of your life to be able to retire on a 6-figure income? Well, We're going to continue that snail's pace, very moderate, completely part-time effort, and now doing the same thing. I'm going to go out and get 12 new ones. And all the people that I brought in, they're going to get 12, and the people that they got in are going to get 12, but only half of them, okay? Only 50% of the entire group or organization duplicates what I did. Do you know that at the end of the third year, I'll have 216, I'll have 589 members, more than what I need for a six-figure income. I'll be considered, as our good friend, Mr. Fernando Ramirez, a two-star regional director, earning $9,000 a month, okay? Month in, month out. And let me just point out one other thing. We're only talking about the residual income column, not all of the other columns that you mentioned as well. And what I have found, when you get to a four-star executive director and above, whatever your residual income, you can almost double it because of all of the other streams of income that are coming in. So what would you rather invest? Now, you see right behind me, you see the sign that says a 5-year career. I'm even going slower than that. I just want to build in the consistency of doing exactly what we're doing. But what would you rather invest? 3 years to retirement or 40 years? Or in many cases, 50 years? Is that even a question, Dr. Parker?
Not at all, my friend. I'll take that 3-year plan all day long.
No license, no formal education, just the willingness to get out there and use some elbow grease.
That's all it takes, my friend. That's all it takes. Well, Eric, listen, our membership results speak for themselves. MWR already has millionaires, people becoming millionaires. They're earning thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We got thousands of people that are, getting paid every single day. They're saving money, more money. They're earning interest instead of paying it. We know the advantages there. They're building, buying their dream homes through your program with Keys to Home Ownership. They're driving their dream cars. They're living the lifestyle of their dream. They're leaving a legacy for their families. My friend, everybody in MWR is winning. And the only person that's missing is you. Speaking to the person who's yet to make a decision to join us on this mission, this ministry, this crusade. This is a big deal, sir. I mean, and the timing is absolutely perfect, Eric. Again, you're in this industry. You see what's happening from the real estate side to the mortgage side to the financial side. You've been around this thing nearly all of your adult life. Is the timing perfect for MWR? Are we showing up at the right time?
I only wish I knew about this sooner, but the bottom line is that this is probably one of the best times because everybody is more sensitive to their finances today than ever before. Inflation, which used to be called the silent killer, and one of the things that our experts really help us with, today isn't so silent, is it? It is a real problem. Inflation is twice the savings rate. How is a person ever going to get ahead in today's market without something like this? The timing where this comes along is perfect. The technology that permits this thing to work the way that it does is perfect. The movement demographically is perfect. The social, ever since the pandemic, people are, they're tired of going to cubicles. They're tired of commuting and going and working 40 hours a week, 40 years of their life for somebody that they don't particularly care for. And there are people looking around. By the way, ask the 11 or 21,000, I think the number is now, federal employees that are out there now wondering what to do with when they thought that their W-2 job was safe and security. Safety and security is in having your own business, period.
Well, and I look at the tax implications because you look at the way tax laws are structured. They're structured to benefit business owners, right? So we know the system is big enough where we can't beat them. So you may as well join them. Own a home-based business, take advantage of all the tax benefits that are set aside for you as a business owner and win in that area of your life as well.
That's right. Wall Street is in on it. Washington is in on it. The wealthy are in on it. And by the way, who do you think put together the 2 tax codes? What, Eric, you said 2 tax codes? Yes, there are 2 tax codes. There's the one for employees, the most severe and taxed group of individuals are W-2 employees. On the other hand, self-employed business people have the advantage of over 400 and plus tax write-offs. They get to allocate their own money first and then pay taxes on what's left. W-2 gets to give the government their taxes first and have to live on what's left. So, having experts in your corner, and we're talking, by the way, CPAs. We're not talking about, boiler room people answering, questions from a 3-ring binder. We're talking about an IRS enrolled agents, certified financial planners. Every single one of those matrix boxes that we talked about has their own team, not a team of professionals that are experienced, vetted, okay, to be able to work with the largest and fastest growing financial services company. These people have been vetted, and that's why the guarantees are there, the safety is there, everyone wins with MWR. And you said that the only thing missing is you, and you just have to make a decision. You see, we are a product of the decisions we've made. Where you are today is a function of the decisions that you've made in the past. And P.S., and this might hurt somebody, but not making a decision is a decision. And if you're unhappy with where you are right now, it's probably because you didn't make either enough decisions or you didn't make the right decisions when it mattered.
Wow. Well, let's talk about that then, Eric. It is time to make a decision, right? So we've got some choices. Either they want some of the money or you want all of the money. But I'll say that in this case, either decision you make tonight is not the wrong one. If the idea is to secure the membership, surround yourself with these financial experts, and take your financial life from wherever it is to wherever you desire to be, put in an average of $2,000 back into your pocket, that's the membership. But if you're like Eric and myself, you not only want the membership to secure a better financial future for yourself and your family through the use of these experts, but you want a chance to generate another stream of income. And Eric, this was decisions that I made nearly 8 years ago. And as a result of that decision, within 2 years of marketing this very program that we're sharing tonight, I was able to replace a $65,000 a year income and do MWR full time. But look at the different ways that we can get paid. And we haven't even talked about the newest component that's been added, which is Fundable 360, which is the platform designed for business owners to secure business funding with no personal guarantees required. That's a big deal, sir. But these are our choices tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Either you want some of it or you want all of the money. If you're going to jump in with both feet and you want it all, $249.97. We spoke of that earlier, and $149.97 for the membership. But Eric, listen, I got to come back to this, the guarantee. So we're going to kind of put people in a position where they cannot lose. And I'll read it again. They say if our expert strategy is an opportunity cannot put more money back into your pocket than the cost of the membership in the first 30 days, MWR gives you a full refund. Again, guys, no risk to you. The only way that you lose is simply by choosing not to participate. And we strongly encourage you to participate in your own rescue. Upload the documents, schedule the appointments, give these experts everything they need to help you win in your financial life. So, Eric, on behalf of those who are here tonight, on my behalf and Mr. Willner's behalf and MWR, we'd like to welcome you to the MWR family. Now, Eric, there's some instructions here. We want to let the people know to get back with the marketing director that referred them and let them know, do you want some of the money or do you want all of the money? It is now the moment. I say yes. If not now, then when? And if not MWR, then what?
And one of the saddest things that I ever hear, it's one of my pet peeves, is when someone says, boy, Eric, if I had only known then what I know now, I would have made the right decision, or I would have made a decision. I would have bought my first house. I would have bought my first investment. I would have joined MWR. I don't want to hear in the future. I really pray that I don't hear that someone says, boy, if I only known about MWR, I wouldn't have lost the money that I did, and I wouldn't have made the financial mistakes that I did. I would have started putting money away. I would have had access to all of these financial resources. I keep thinking, I hear about the keys to home ownership, literally doubles your net worth in the first few years, the difference between renting and owning. I think about the precious metals and the experts that we have there. I think about the savings that you have in taxes. Dr. Parker, if I walked up to you and I said, If you give me $150, I'm going to give you an average of $2,000 savings. I'm going to save you probably close to $1,800 or more in professional fees. And I'm going to make your financial life more organized, more focused, and more profitable. Would you like to know a little more?
Absolutely, sir. I'm all over it, man. And that's literally what we bring to the table. And so who wouldn't say yes to that? I think everybody would. And again, you talked earlier about I mean, 98% of the people in this country need one or all the services that we provide. If the idea is to free yourself, to live the life of your dreams, to generate the level of income that you desire, MWR is an excellent vehicle to make that happen. But look at what happens along the way while you're putting that business together and building that business and creating that residual income. You've got access to tools, systems, and expert that wealthy people have always had access to. You take full advantage of that, put money back into your pocket, save money on taxes. If you're renting, now you're buying. All of those advantages, Eric, it's a big deal. But talk, if you would, before we go to our closing slide, I want to get into a little bit more. We don't have a slide that represents it, but we will next week, and talk a little bit about the Fundable 360, the new program that MWR has just unveiled, designed for business owners without having to put themselves in a pickle with the bank using their personal credit, but doing it on business credit, and the importance of that and why that is so important right now with the state of affairs in this country as it relates to businesses seeking funding.
Well, the number one thing that businesses need and want is additional funds, whether it be to grow their marketing, buy more inventory. There's no business out there that doesn't need more money, from Apple right on down to you and me. Every single business. So this is a game changer. If we had stopped 5 minutes ago, the MWR proposition would have made a lot of sense. Today, with this new funding in place, I've had conversations with different leaders. The opportunities, it appears and it appeals. You see, we talked about it. It didn't matter whether you have $2 in your wallet, right? We'll meet you where you are. Or if you have $2 million in a business, MWR has an incredible package for you. And now the conversation, I mean, who doesn't know a business owner? Drive down the road. You want to see a business owner? They're everywhere you look. And here's an opportunity now to show them. And P.S., number one, a minimum of $50,000. Number two, no bearing or need of your credit scores. In other words, we're going to show you how a business has a second credit score. Remember, I talked about the diversified cash flow account, the private reserve account, where the banks are using the money twice. Imagine if you had two credit scores and you could borrow twice as much money. This is a game changer, no matter which way you slice it. But the Fundable 360 has become, I think, one of the number one reasons why people are looking seriously at MWR, and the type of people that are looking at MWR are now the business owners, not people who are just looking to make a couple of extra dollars here, but who want to use our tools to grow their businesses and expand.
And with the unveiling of that new product that we offer now, there's an additional commission paid on that as well. So that adds another stream of income.
Number 7 or 8.
That's what I'm saying. How many more? It's amazing, my friend. Again, guys, this is where lifestyle and legacy connect. So think it not strange that MWR brings all of these components to the table. But Eric, let's wrap it up. And I'd like for you to close on this one and help us understand what we're seeing here.
Everything that we've talked about is really customized to you. I don't know what your ideal goal is, whether it's fancy vacations, where you want to live, the house you live in, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, whatever it is that motivates you, or maybe it's just the stability or peace of mind that you've provided for your family. More importantly, not just for your current family, but to be able to provide for legacies. You see, it's a very interesting picture, and I'll bet you that at the Kennedy compound up here in West Palm Beach, I'm sure that it's at the Carnegie Estate, the Vanderbilts, there's a picture of Grandpa who left generational wealth behind. Nobody ever forgets those names, right? I even know their names and I'm not related to them. But here's the bottom line. There's a picture frame that's going to be hung up in your kid's home, your grandkids' home. And whose picture, who are they going to remember? Will your grandchildren remember you? And I guarantee you that if you set the example because you are financially responsible, you are financially astute, and you provided legacy type money, your picture is going to be up there on the fireplace as well. So on that note, we can wrap it up with a little bit of fun. This is where lifestyle and legacy connect, and the color by the numbers, instructions, and the experts are right here. So, Dr. Parker, I love hanging out with you on these Wednesday night conversations, sharing what something that I would share with people anyway. But as I've told you many times, as a real estate professional, I don't have turn downs anymore. As a mortgage broker, I don't have turn downs anymore. All I have, people, is that now I can really help, and the fulfillment of that is probably even greater than the amount of money that, as you call it, the ridiculous amounts of money just for sharing something that I would have anyway.
It's a big deal, my friend, really. And it does give my heart quite joy too. I understand what you're saying when you can make a difference in people's lives by sharing a concept with them. And then you and I never having become the expert in any of these areas. And on top of it, be paid a ridiculous amount of money. I've stopped the screen share. I'll come out to the field, and we're going to go to our settings here and see if we can't open up the microphones. And I think that is already done. And the ability for them to open their screens and unmute themselves. We may have questions, Eric, and particularly for people who are joining the platform for the first time. We don't want you to leave this platform tonight without having a full understanding of what you've seen and heard. I'm seeing some old faces here. Jerome Bell, welcome back to the platform, sir. So, guys, if you've got questions, now would be the time to ask those questions. And if not, please get back with the person that invited you to be with us tonight. To get those questions answered, and go ahead and get your position. Get yourself, become a part of this with us, this mission, this ministry, this crusade. Eric, actually, this movement, because that's what it's become. And I see Blue Pearl Coach T is with us tonight as well. But will there be any questions? And if not,
I just wanted to add one quick comment there. In the chat, there is a link to our YouTube channel. Okay. And so what we've decided to do, because this information is really so important and we wanted to make it available 24/7. So if you look in the chat, there's a link. You can click on that link, subscribe to that YouTube channel, because you're going to hear conversations a lot like this from different perspectives, different people giving their viewpoints. Why, at the end of the day, make wealth real is an incredible opportunity. And as you said before, the only person missing now is you.
that's it, my friend. Absolutely. The gentleman that we spoke of earlier, my business partner and yours, Mr. Fernando Ramirez, is on the platform with us tonight. We told you the story about how within 8 months he was able to position himself as a regional director with this very opportunity, making $200 a day, $6,000 a month, $73,000 a year. I'm not sure if Fernando has the availability, and he does. There's my good friend. Loving the hat, my friend. You're looking pretty sharp, brother.
Hey, thank you very much. I mean, you guys have given us tonight all the tools, the nut bolts. The good thing about what we do is we don't have to get licensed. All we got to do basically is get to know a little bit more in detail and depth of the platform, get to know the experts by implementing all the services and start to refer other people to the platform. That's what we did, and that's what we continue to do. We don't complicate things. We keep things simple. And you guys tonight have definitely delivered on that information. So we're able to find the right people that saw it the way we did, like Eric Willner. Hey, we jumped on it, and here we are. We're actually all over the country. I love the fact that, we've been through tough times this year, right? When we started it, there was a lot of fires. The company continued to pay us. A lot of businesses shut down doors here in our local area. Lots of people were unemployed. So it was detrimental to see the aspects of what was happening in our surroundings. But at 2 p.m. Pacific, we were getting paid. A few months after that, we got sick. We were in bed for 2 weeks. We continued to get paid. So our company pays 365 days per year, something I've never seen in 31 years that I've been a part of this incredible industry. And this compensation plan is just phenomenal. And working alongside each and every one of you guys, I mean, hearing your stories from everyone, I can mention every name that I see here. And when I see the names, it really inspires me to know that we are headed in the right direction with the right team, the right leadership group, the experts in our company, and our CEO. So there's nothing to lose. At the contrary, there's so much to gain out of this. And what you guys presented for us tonight was phenomenal. Thanks again. Appreciate you.
No, God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. It's truly a joy to be in business with you, my friend. Eric, I think there's some questions in the chat, maybe if you
I
can see.
saw that. I see Willie. Willie said, I've signed up to be a member. Is there further training? And the answer is absolutely yes. Do you know that there is some form of training on our business? I think it's 6 days a week or something like that. But
Yes.
various times we have this business presentation several nights a week. We have training for those of you who want to be entrepreneurs and want to learn how to operate this business. Saturdays, we even have a reading club that goes into the entrepreneurial mindset, along with the business presentation, followed by the training on one of the products or one of the aspects. Our corporation also does training on their various products on a regular basis. So, Willie, definitely get back with the person that helped you to sign up. Also, on that YouTube website that we mentioned earlier before, we're going to be posting a permanent calendar there so that you can go there and see exactly what day of the week that if you want to invite somebody. And this is what I say: invite somebody, have them give you a second opinion, bring somebody to the next presentation on the calendar. But the bottom line, that was a great question, Willie. There's a lot of training. We'll be back again, here tomorrow night. Dr. Parker, who has led an incredible brand new organization called the Kingdom Builders, and now we have a faith-based element, and he has been now bringing this financial platform for financial stewardship to churches across the country. So if you want to grow this business back really well and make a positive impact, come check out Dr. Parker at 8:30. It's 8:30 on Fridays.
No, no, no. It will not be this Friday, Eric. We're actually repositioning that platform. So it looks like the new platform may begin to roll out on Thursdays. We're putting that together as we speak, guys. So keep your eyes out for notifications. And if you're not already part of our Facebook group, please join MWR Kingdom Builders. Send us a friend request as well as FRBE. These are our Facebook groups. The two teams are combined, and we also now have the YouTube channel, which is going to be a plus too to get access to information. And also, these events will be recorded, so you'll get those notifications as well. But please join us on Facebook. So we post those notifications every single day, the morning of the event happening in that evening.
I think unless there's any more questions, I think I got most of the questions either answered in our presentation or if it was different from something that we didn't cover. Dr. Parker, you and I could talk about this all night long.
Man, listen, I could be up to 3 in the morning talking about this with you, but guys, we're not going to hold you any longer. We want to thank you for taking the time to be a part of this. Let's double our efforts next week. Let's bring one and see how big we can really grow this. Now is the time to get as many people in front of this as possible. As Eric said, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You've got a team of people that are going to help you grow. We're going to root for you. We're going to encourage you. We're going to provide you with training, motivational, whatever it takes to help you move yourself to the next level. You're with the right team that's going to help you get that done. We're not going to leave anybody behind, Eric Willner, and we're committed to that. But so once again, it's an honor to serve with you tonight, my friend. Thank you so much for your time. And any closing remarks for our group who's with us tonight, sir?
We're a product of our decisions. Just remember that. That's all, and as Dr. Parker said, that whether it's some of the money or all of the money, whether it's the membership or the business, neither decision is a risk, and neither decision is a bad decision. The only bad decision is the decision you didn't make. So I hope you'll get back with the person that invited you here. Come back and check us out again, on one of the other nights, meet with some of the other leaders, get a different perspective, do your homework on this, check it out. You're not going to be sorry. As I mentioned, you've seen people from every walk of life, from business owners to employees, from nurses to doctors, from plumbers to whatever. There isn't a single person that doesn't talk about money every single day and who doesn't want to do better financially as well. So that's more than a closing word.
I love it, sir. But thank you again. Hey, look forward to sharing the platform with you again next Wednesday night. Guys, good night. Govern yourself accordingly. Get plugged into all the other programs that are happening throughout the week, and stay focused. I mean, you know, we say that. How does it go, Eric? 50% of it is just showing up.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
And so we just
And
got to be here.
you saw even in the simulator, if only 50% showed up, look at the 6-figure result. So yeah, 50% is just showing up, and it is a numbers game. It quite frankly. And by the way, do you want to tell your family and your friends about this, or do you want me to, or somebody else? Because MWR is the fastest growing financial strategies companies out there. So let's let's bring this information to the right people and make a difference.
Good deal, sir. Well, take care of yourself, my friend. I look forward to seeing you.
Have a great night, sir.
Daryl Banks, take care of yourself. Good to see you, brother. You guys have a great evening. Good night. Please thank Mr. Willner for me, if you would, please. Your mics are open.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Eric
Present
Willner.
yourself tonight. Appreciate you.
Thank
both.
you. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Good
Thank you.
presentation, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Awesome.
You were great.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.